Good morning, everybody. Jack, how you doing? How's your knee? I know the feeling. Well, take it easy.
Yeah, I
No,
will.
no deep knee bends. In fact, let's do a set of the FANG and GONG today. And I don't know whether you guys saw the note. Jill can't make it today because she's still working on her paper, her late paper. Reverse. this exercise, the rhythm in it is determined uh, by your inner body, by switching between the Tanjong and the Mingmen. So when you lift, or maybe that's the wrong term, it's not that you lift your arm. You don't lift your arm. What you do is you come up inside your body to your center chest. That lifts your arm. You don't lift your arm. Coming up to the center, that's what lifts your arm. And then it's just going to relax down here as you go from your Tanjong into your Mingmen, back behind the Danqian. So coming up into the Tanjong lifts the arm, and then it relaxes as you come down into your Mingmen. Your other hand is also timed to that. All right? So this is going to go all the way up, and it's not until it starts to sink down into the Mingmen that your other hand comes up. Sinking into the Mingmen lifts this hand, and then it follows down. Boom. Okay. So you have to understand what your whole body is doing when you do this to make sense of this. You're opening and closing. Open. And by open, I'm talking about the renmai in the front of the body. All right? So the renmai is like this, and then you're going to open it. All right? Open. And now close again. And it's closing. And now it opens. And then it closes. And it opens. And then it closes. So the rhythm of when the two arms move, all of that is determined by opening and closing. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Now, I was calling out open and close, and that's for the renmai, for the big channel in the front of the body. What's happening with the dumai in the back of the body? What's the rhythm with that? Right? I'm opening the renmai. What's happening with the dumai? Can you feel it? This one's opening. If the front is opening, then what is the back doing? It's closing. So let's call out the back. Close. Open the back. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. The front again. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Pay a little attention. This is an excellent exercise to pay some attention to the length of the renmai and the dumai. Usually, if you just read a little book or a little article where they're describing those energy channels, they'll say the renmai runs up and down the front of the body from the perineum to the top of the head. And the dumai runs from the top of the head down to the perineum. But that's not really quite true. It's that's kind of saying Seattle is north of San Francisco. Well, yes, it is north of San Francisco, but how do you get there? All right. Your renmai runs from your sexual organs to the tip of your tongue. All right. So they say the perineum because in front of the perineum are your sexual organs, and it's important to understand this because this is the Taoist way of approaching anatomy. It's different than the way that we approach it in the West. It's a different paradigm. So you can think and feel your sexual organs here and how they coil into the body and then come up through the body to the tip of the tongue. That's the renmai. The dumai runs from that same point, right, up the back and includes the whole top of the skull down to the hard palate, the upper palate of the mouth. So your whole skull, right? You think about your mouth. The only part that moves is the lower jaw. The upper jaw doesn't move. You can move your whole head, but the jaw itself doesn't move, or the upper jaw. Only the lower jaw moves. The lower jaw is part of your renmai. The upper jaw is part of your dumai. So the thing that connects your renmai and your dumai is your tongue. The tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth connects the two channels. If you separate them, then the circuit is broken. If you connect them, then the circuit is running. At least that's one way to look at it. So when you're doing this exercise and you're opening the renmai, what are you opening? You're opening that part of your anatomy that runs from your sexual organs up to the tip of your tongue, and that normally is rather cupped. Whether you're sitting or standing, it's kind of cupped because this is the soft part of the body. And we have to be a little self-protective of it. All creatures do that. All right? This is the soft underbelly. All right? When you open that, you're opening yourself up to the world. All right? You're becoming more vulnerable, literally more vulnerable. When you close, so you open it, and then again you close it. When you close the renmai, it opens the dumai and back. So it's like arching your back to help protect yourself. Right? Would be one way to look at it. Right? So it's open and close. 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 I was just during break talking with Annie about this, and she said, and this is absolutely true, your insides, the way we're built, actually, is a tube. Right? The mouth is one end of the tube. The anus is the other end. And it goes all the way through, and we usually think of it as all this complicated organs and stuff, which it is. But another way to look at it is just a smooth tube all the way through. Right? One side of that tube you have to be a little protective of. It's the softer side. Right? The other side is the stronger side. And if you think of a quadruped, right, they walk on all four. Their backs are strong. their bellies are a lot more vulnerable. So your cat, for instance, will probably let you pet it on the back, but it's much more reluctant to let you pet it on the stomach. When an animal lets you pet it on the stomach, it's opening itself up to you. There's a level of trust there that is not automatic. It takes a while. Right? When you're doing these exercises, physically you're doing one thing, but in another way, what you're doing is opening yourself and then closing and then opening and closing and opening and closing and opening and closing and opening and closing. And if you coordinate that with your breathing, which is also opening and closing, it becomes very powerful. I'm going to imitate an animal. I want you to tell me what animal it is with this hand.
The snail.
Be a little snail.
Inchworm.
Inchworm.
Snake.
A worm.
A worm.
A worm. An inchworm. Right? Or a snail.
Um,
A very primitive animal.
I'm sorry, I need to go. I have an appointment in 2 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Sorry about that.
So, when you're practicing Tai Chi and Qigong, one of the things you're doing is recapitulating the evolution of humanity, for instance, since we're human, all the way back to the level of the inchworm, and maybe before that too. You're practicing opening and closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing. It's a primal move. The word Hunyan has a lot of connotations in Chinese, but maybe the best translation is into English is primordial. To go back to the most basic kinds of movements. Okay, guys, have yourselves a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.